Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la, ya la 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 la. Let me hear you through the mass. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shabbat shalom, everyone. And Shabbat shalom to all the people who are watching on our streaming at home. If you tried to be here, there wouldn't be enough seats for you. We are full to capacity here in the sanctuary tonight. And next time, come next week. That'd be great. We'd love to see you. For all of you who came, thank you for being here on this holiday weekend. And so great to see you. Sorry that you have to stay masked, but I hope that you can still sing through your Mass and participate and feel the spirit of Shabbat so that we can feel that power of community. Some people have had a difficult week and need that power of community to help them find comfort and meaning. And others have come to rejoice in the Sabbath after maybe a fun week at camp and a great time together here at Temple Shalom. If you don't know, our camp is bustling this year. We have our camp open, and it's just great to see the kids having such a great time. I brought my magic today to camp. It was good, right? It's great. It's great. I'll pay you later. So tonight we're going to begin, as we always do, with the lighting of Shabbat candles. And so Corey Amran, who's here from our board, she's co-chair of our strategic planning committee, will lead us on page 2 and 3. I think, 3 is the page. See, I forget. I haven't been on the Bima for a week. Page 3 is the reading. And by the way, if you're watching online and you need the prayer book, right above the player window, you'll see an icon of our prayer book, and that's where you'll find the pages that we'll call out. So we'll turn to Corey.
Okay. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Let's join together in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you so much, Corey. Page 8. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities of my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We'll turn to Kabbalat Shabbat, and we'll begin on page 16, with the Psalm Zamru Ladonai. It's Psalm 98, sing praises to God with the lyre and with melodious song. Zamru Ladonai by Noah Aronson. Zamru Ladonai, Zamru Ladonai bechino, Zamru Ladonai, Ladonai bechino, Yai lai lai lai, Yai lai 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 lai. Zamru Ladonai bechinor, bechinor beko zimra, Bachatzorot v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Yalalai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yiram hayam umlao, tevel veyoshveva, neharot imcha uchaf, yachad harim yeraneinu, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. And we'll turn to page 20 for Lecha Dodi. Tonight, verses 1 to 8 and 9. 1, 2, 8, and 9, something maybe a little different. And at verse 9, if you wish to follow the tradition is to stand, face the entrance of the sanctuary as we welcome in the Sabbath bride, and then we turn around and continue singing Lecha Dodi as we remain standing. But for the chorus and the first few verses, please join along from your seats. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor v'tibor echad, ishmi'anu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nikabla lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nikabla likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor haberacha merosh miketem nesucha sof maaseh b'makshava techila lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nikabla lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nikabla. Verse 8 Yamin usmol tifrotzi ve'et Adonai ta'aritzi al yarish ben partzi v'nismecha v'nagila lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nikabla lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nikabla Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha u'v'tzola toch emunei am segula bo'i chala lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nikabla lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nikabla. So we remain standing and we turn to the Baruch Hu, our call to worship, on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Page 30, let's read together our prayer for creation, the Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim B'chokma Poteach Sha'arim Uvitvuna Mishanei Itim Umachalif et Hazmanim Umisader et HaKochavim B'mishmerotehem Barakia Kirtsono Bore Yom Valayla Golel Or Mipnei Choshech V'choshech Mipnei Or Uma'avir Yom Umevi Laila Umavdil ben yom uvein laila Adonai Tzivaot Shemo El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. On page 32, the next prayer prior to the Shema is the prayer called Ahavat Olam that reminds us that there's no greater love than God's love for us. The love that God gave us is shown in the Torah that God transmitted to us. And this reminds us that Ahavat Olam, which means everlasting love, is like the love that we have to God is similar to a bride and bridegroom. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadta al ken Adonai Eloheinu ושוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגי יומם ולילה נגי יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו ישראל שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. You may be seated. Let's join together in chanting V'ahavta, which continues the words of the Shema, not only about love, but V'ahavta is the love that we show back to God. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 39, as we prepare for Mi Chamocha, and this part of this prayer section called the Geula, it's about our freedom. We read responsively at the bottom of page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 40. Mi chamocha ha'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilo osefele, nora tehilot osefele. זרע ובניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים. זה לי אנו ואמרו, זה לי אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יללי, יאלי, יאלי, לילי, יאי, יאלי, לילי, יאי, לי, יאלי, לילי, יאי, לילי, לילי. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Page 44, the celebration of Shabbat is reminded to us through these words of Torah v'shamru at the top of the page. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. We rise for Hatafila, page 46, as we chant together the first two prayers. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avod V'Imaot, U'Mevi Geula Libnei V'Nehem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah. Let's read together in English on page 50. You are forever mighty, Adonai. You give life to all. You rain dew upon us. You sustain life through love, giving life to all through great compassion, supporting the fallen, healing the sick, freeing the captive, keeping faith with those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of mighty acts? Who resembles you, a sovereign who takes and gives life, causing deliverance to spring up, and faithfully giving life to all? Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. You are holy, on page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. On the opposite page, page 53, you'll see a text, Ya ana emtsa'acha, a beautiful poem speaking of the holiness of God, and this beautiful setting by Dan Nichols and Ellen Dreskin. Yana emsacha mikomcha na'ala v'ne'elam va'ana lo emsacha kevodcha malei olam. Yana emsacha mikomcha na'ala v'ne'elam ve'ana lo emsacha kevodcha malei olam. Darashti kirvatcha bechol libi deraticha uvetzeli tiglatcha likrati mitzati. Page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Let's sing together the words of our Song of Peace on page 60, Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amecha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam, Tasim leolam. Let's find peace in our own hearts as we pray silently, and then we'll sing together the words of Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromah, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromah, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael imeru amen, ve'imru amen. Page 253, our prayers for healing. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu, Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov, Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah, Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem, Lecha Chalimam u'Rapotam, Lecha Hazikam v'Yishlach Lechem Mehera Refuah, Ufuah Shlema min Hashamayim, Ufuat HaNefesh Ufuat HaGuf, Hashta Ba'agala v'Zman Kariv, B'Nomar Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill, including Alon ben Barbara, Hannah Esther bat Krendel, Hannah Leah bat Yosef behendel, Yehuda ben Fischel, Henry Botak, Benifer Devar, Elizabeth Drabkin, Rachel Duff, Gail Gershman, Jamie Hecker, Martha Kelly, Kathleen Kussel, Louis Landsberg, David Roby, Dennis Stanley, and all those who are victims of violence in Israel and around the world, as well as those in service to our country, and all those people suffering near Miami who need emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. I'd like to go around, and if you would like to say the name of someone you're thinking about, do so at this time. And at home, if you will, take a moment to say the name of someone you're thinking about. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, as together we say, Amen. Let's join in the second paragraph of Mishaberach. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Two Texans are sitting on a plane going to Dallas with an old Jewish man sitting between them. The first Texan says, "My name is Roger. I own 250,000 acres. I have 1,000 head of cattle, and they call my place the Jolly Roger." The second Texan says, "My name is John. I own 350,000 acres. I have 5,000 head of cattle, and they call my place Big John's." They both look down at the little old Jewish man who says, "My name is Lenny Leibowitz, and I own only 300 acres. Roger looks down at him and says, 300 acres? What do you raise?" "Nothing," said Lenny. "Well then, what do you call it?" asked John. "Dallas, Texas." A creature with green skin towers over all the other Bloomingdale's shoppers and is conspicuously covered with fancy jewelry. An older Jewish woman walks up to him and exclaims in disbelief how tall he is and how his skin is so green and how much jewelry is covering him, and asks, "Where are you from?" He responds in perfect English, "I am from Mars." The woman sighs and says, "Ah, that explains your green skin." She goes on staring at him, and her eyes veer up toward the ceiling, and she asks, "How tall are you?" Again, in perfect English, without missing a beat, he answers, "I am 8 feet 2 inches tall." The woman asks if all Martians have green skin and are as tall as he is, and he says, "Yes, we all possess green skin and are all within a few inches of each other in height." "And do you all wear so much jewelry?" she asks. The Martian responds, "Not the Goyim." How am I doing? Okay. Well, here we are at our third installment of our summer service theme on Jewish humor called "A Rabbi and a Priest Walked Into a Bar: What Jewish Humor Can Teach Us." For years, Jewish jokes were looked at as repositories of self-hatred or masochism and despair, according to Jewish humor author Michael Krasny. But they are also celebrations of survival by whatever means are necessary, and humor is one of those means. Humor can also be seen as a way of showing resilience in the face of difficult times. A clear example of this is Mel Brooks' famous 2,000-year-old man who claimed longevity was the result of not eating fried food, not even touching it. He also took the idea of Jewish guilt to another level in his complaint to Carl Reiner that he had more than 42,000 children and no one had ever come to visit him. The Jewish humor I want to speak about tonight is this type that dwells within our celebrations and in our suffering too. It's self-deprecating and shows Jews as victims. Krasny says Jewish jokes would become time capsules for the Jewish sense of being different and unique. And despite the self-deprecation, there is a strain of celebration that often show up, a healthy celebrating of escape from the oppression and prejudices of the past. Isn't Jewish humor masochistic? An old Jewish joke begins, followed by the line, "No, and if I hear that one more time, I'm going to kill myself." Think of the early comedians like Henny Youngman and the one-liners he made famous. "My doctor says to me, 'You're sick.' I say, 'I want another opinion.' He says, 'You're ugly too,' if you didn't hear that online, by the way. They're not mic'd. And then there was Rodney Dangerfield telling us his mother wouldn't breastfeed him. She only wanted to be friends. About being kidnapped, Dangerfield said, "The kidnapper sent his father a piece of his finger. His father said he wanted more proof." All the jokes seem to be saying, "I'm such a loser, even my parents don't want me." Joan Rivers claimed that she knew she was an unwanted child because the bath toys that her parents gave her were a toaster and a hairdryer. Do you know all these already? Yeah, of course you do. But Jewish humor can also be celebratory, right? It celebrates what Jews have traditionally celebrated: food, family, wealth, success, sobriety, and much, much more. All of these are at times stereotyped and filled with sarcasm and aggression, but they all celebrate Jews being alive. We are in a kindergarten classroom. The teacher asks the class of 5-year-olds to name the most famous man who ever lived and offers $10 to the child who can provide the correct answer. A little Irish boy raises his hand and said, "St. Patrick." The teacher says, "I'm sorry, Sean, that is not correct." A little Scottish lad raises his hand and says, "St. Andrew." And the teacher says, "I'm sorry, Hamish, but that is also incorrect." Whereupon a little Jewish boy raises his hand and says, "Jesus." And the teacher says, "That is absolutely correct, Max. Congratulations. Please come up here and collect your $10 prize." As the teacher is giving Max the $10, she said to him, "Since you are Jewish, Max, what made you say Jesus?" Max said to her, "In my heart, I know it was Moses, but business is business." It's a classic joke. On the face of it, according to Krasny, it's just another joke about the Jews' talent for handling money, or how the joke lies in the fact that the Jewish kid understands how to play and adapt himself to a Christian audience, even in kindergarten. But if you go even deeper, Krasny notes it's about making money over expressing honest convictions and beliefs. Well, these are short little sermonettes, so let me just end with a favorite joke about celebrations. A private Boeing 747 full of Jews lands in Kathmandu. The passengers are all friends or relatives of the Weinberger family, and the special limousines that pick them up are headed some 100 miles away to the foot of the Himalayas. They are all in India for the bar mitzvah of little Stevie Weinberger, what many are calling the Uber bar mitzvah, or the bar mitzvah to outdo every other bar mitzvah. A bar mitzvah so exotic and costly and lavish that will upend and outspend any previous bar mitzvah, which is really saying something. The rental of the 747 and the fleet of limos, who can even estimate the cost of it all? When the guests exit the limos, there are long lines of elephants, each led by a young Indian elephant trainer to take them, even the few who are elderly and infirm, one by one to the base of the mountains. The elephants and their attendants are accompanied by teams of bejeweled dancing women, a group of Sufi whirling dervishes, and a long line of Sherpas flown in from Tibet. A separate jet has brought in an incalculable amount of specially catered food, including Stevie's favorite lean-cut corned beef sandwiches in state-of-the-art wheeled-in refrigerators. The women dance, a bevy of musicians from yet another rented jet and limo plays Stevie's favorite songs, and the elephants march forward to the Himalayas. The team of elephants is about to begin their ascent. All the guests, each on top of a different elephant, are being led toward an area on the side of the mountains where a miniature Taj Mahal is visible. The Weinberger family are at the front of the procession. Suddenly, a group of Indian men in uniforms are wildly waving batons and holding up the procession as the elephants are about to move toward the miniature Taj Mahal. Stevie's father, Mr. Weinberger, is distressed. He asks the Indian officers, "What is going on and why has everyone been commanded to stop?" "We have a bar mitzvah celebration," Stevie forcefully said to them. "Everyone has been paid. What's the holdup?" The Indian officer closest to him, who is clearly in charge, shrugs his shoulders and says, "I'm terribly sorry, sir. We have to wait for the Goldstein bar mitzvah party ahead of us." Jewish humor. Next week, another installment from, I'm not sure what clergy is leading next week's service, but be prepared. Come for the ride. Let's join together back in our prayer books on page 282 as we rise for Aleinu. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטש שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. As we think of those who have been a blessing in our lives, let's turn to page 290. And let me share with you this poem of memory. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. We offer our condolences on this Shabbat to Brian Posner on the death of his mother, Ellen Posner, and condolences to Jennifer Canty on the death of her father, Herbert Canty. These people now that I'm about to name are in a period of Shaloshim, the first 30 days of mourning. We remember Steve Waldman, the father of Sandra Spector, Doris Snyder, the sister-in-law of Ann Snyder and the aunt of Carol Heller. We remember our member Adrienne Gibson, the wife of Stuart Gibson. We remember our member Stuart Freudberg, the husband of Lynn Gutter and the father of Adam, Michael, and Daniel. And to these people we link those who you all are remembering on the yahrzeit or anniversary of their death. We remember Eli Abelman, Morley Skip Baker, Terry Becker, Naomi Beckenstein, Myra Brill, Michael Brill, Robert Bronfman, Yutta Cans, Alan Kaplow, Morris Character, Martha Davidson, Laura Davidson, Carol Erickson, David Flores, Philip Gelman, Jacob Goldberg, Philip Goldman, Meyer Goldstein, Edward Gould, Errol Greenberg, Natalio Hecker, William Heckkoff, Howard Hess, Manny Jaffe, Ray Kay, Jack Kellerman, Howard King, Israel Lastic, Bella S. Levine, Harvey Levin, Goldie Levin, Sylvia Liss, Grace Mendelson, Lillian Newberger, Esther Potashnik, William Richards, Deborah Rubin Leibovitz, Yehuda Sandler, Isadora Sabrowski, Murray Schoenberger, Linda Schwartz, Helen Sellers, Nina Schaefer, Cyril Scherer, Ann Simonoff, Edward Smith, Jack Solomon, Eleanor Stillman, Faith Weinstein, Alfred Weiss, Evelyn Wendell, Rachel Wilhelm, Harold Weiner, Harris Wolfson, Bernard Zupmore. And if you would like to say the name of someone you're thinking about, please do. As I look around the congregation, you're welcome to rise if you're here remembering someone, and also if you want to repeat the name if I mispronounced it. and at home. And now we rise and join our mourners as we say the words of our Mourners Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom, page 294, together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, v'alma tivarach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chaye chon u'v'yom echon, u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah nivarach le'olam u'l'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shemei dekudisha urichu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da amiran bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved here and everywhere, as together we say. You may be seated. And now I invite back Corey Amran to bring some greetings and some announcements.
Great. Let's see. Is this one on?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Good. Great. Well, thank you, Cantor Shochet, for a wonderful service and for allowing us to laugh. We haven't laughed in a really long time, and even if we're laughing at ourselves, it's really great to laugh. I am absolutely honored to welcome you on behalf of our congregation to our worship service tonight. For those who are visitors, although you might be virtual visitors, we hope that you will join us when you feel comfortable to do so. It would be an absolute joy to welcome you and to share our extraordinary community. And for those who have joined us today, thank you so much. It's so great to see you, even if we can't see all of you. And we apologize if we don't recognize you, but say hello anyway. Please check out the e-letter from yesterday and the summer edition of The Connection. If you've misplaced it, you can find it on our website. It's got so many announcements. We have so many things going on. Just a couple of items of note. First, that the Temple office, the Early Childhood Center, and the Religious School will be closed on Monday, the 5th, in observance of the 4th. And the Summer Adult Limud is starting Thursday, July 8th. And just a little description about that: family relationships are inherently charged with love and competition, betrayal and forgiveness, resilience and hope. In this 6-part series, we will navigate the emotional, ethical, and spiritual paths of our biblical ancestors and explore how those dynamics can inform our lives today. Each week in this series, a clergy member will pair with a therapist to bring you the best of both worlds, our 4,000-year-old Jewish tradition and modern psychology together. So you can register in person to join us in person or virtually on the TRS site. And Motors is having a virtual happy hour Wednesday, July 7th at 7 p.m. Don't forget, we have so many tents. It's a great place to meet people in small groups, and if you don't find a tent that you like, you can start one. And did we mention that there is a survey about the high holidays that people, we hope that you will take that survey and tell us what you think about what you'd like to do during that time. So Shabbat Shalom and happy 4th of July.
Thanks, Corey. Yeah, that survey is really important. I think we've had about 500 responses so far, but please give us your opinion. And the opinion isn't whether you want to have high holy days, but how you can be comfortable, because we're hoping to be back in full capacity for the high holy days. We turn to our Kiddush prayer on page, I think it's page 5. Page 5, and we rise And Corey, here's a wine cup for you. It's just water. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lemaaseh vereshit Ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh Zeher letziat Mitzrayim Ki evanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol Shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat Amen. L'chaim. And I want to thank the people who help make these services happen. I know they're listed in the program but it's really important. They do such a great job for us. I want to thank Graham Marsh, who's on audio, and Christian Koschel, who's streaming our service tonight. Of course, Frank Conlon and Clyde Hilliard, all who we can't do these services without all of you. So thank you all very much, as well as all of you. And I hope that you find a way to enjoy the Independence weekend that is here among us. Maybe even watch the Independence Day movie, right? Isn't that a great movie? That makes you think about, wow, we went through a pandemic, but glad we didn't have to do the alien thing. Let's have a safe and joyful Independence Day weekend. We'll sing together a good patriotic song written by the Jewish composer Irving Berlin, God Bless America, page 376. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Mi shesheken et shemo b'bayit hazeh hu yashkin beinechem ahava ve'achva shalom ve'reut. May the one whose presence dwells in this house cause love and harmony, peace and friendship to dwell among us now and always. Amen. Shabbat shalom and happy Independence Day.